Okay, so to start off the makeup look, I'm going to start off with foundation, and I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Full Filter in the shade Toffee. I really love the consistency of this foundation. It's nice and matte, and I love the fact that it is full coverage. I usually take about a squirt and a half of product, and I'm just gonna distribute it all over my face. If I'm looking down, it's just because I have a mirror right here. Don't forget your ears. And I have little veins here. It's hard to see, but that's why I really like this product, because it is thicker and it's matte. So I just feel like it gives really good coverage. And you have to work quick with this foundation, because if not, you'll end up seeing like streaks. Okay, so for concealer, before I do that, I'm going to use my Becca Under Eye Primer or Corrector. I really love this. I feel like if I don't use this and I wear concealer, you still see darkness underneath my eyes. Like, that already makes such a big difference. And I use the shade Light Medium, just for a little bit of brightness. So that canceled out all the darkness. And for concealer, I really love the new L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. It kind of reminds me of Tarte Shape Tape. I love Tarte, and that's one of my top favorite. But I just heard that this one was really good, and I gave it a shot and I really like it. And I'm using the shade 360. I'm going to link everything down below. I'm just going really like heavy with it. She had a beautiful, you know, contour and highlight. Scott Barnes never disappoints. And I really wanted to get everything that he had used on her, but his palettes are not out yet. But as soon as they come out, I definitely want to purchase them. I think they'll be such a great investment, and he's such an icon, and he does the most fabulous makeup. So I just got this outfit in the mail, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, because I wasn't too sure exactly when his palette or other palettes are gonna come out. I'm just taking that concealer and I'm just taking it over the lids. And I like to drag the concealer all the way out, and I feel like she had that nice like lifted look, and it's gonna look so good at the end with the lashes and everything. Her makeup just always looks so good. But that night, oh my gosh, when I saw her on the runway, it was such an iconic moment. Almost 20 years ago, or if it's exactly 20 years ago, where she wore that dress. I remember I was a kid and I was like, wow, like she looks phenomenal. So I'm so glad that she did the runway. It was only fitting, and it was such a perfect ending to the show. Donatella did such a beautiful job. It was so creative and awesome. And just Versace alone as a brand is really prestige, and they have such a beautiful history. And I remember going to the Versace mansion in Miami, and you can just feel such a beautiful presence when you walk in. It was awesome. And if you ever get a chance to go, you should go. It's such a great experience. You can see as I placed the concealer and I dragged it out, it kind of like lifted my, you know, almost like my face, right? It's just like a cool thing, just to like drag it out. It makes such a big difference. like to really make sure it's all nice and blended out. That way when I bake, there isn't any like lines underneath, because I have like little baby lines. Okay, so to bake under my eyes, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Banana Bread Easy Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder. I really love this. I love the undertone of it. I just think it matches my skin tone perfectly, and it's something that I use actually every single day, even if I'm just going to work or whatnot. I just feel like it makes my makeup look so good. I'm taking a really good amount, dragging it to like the sides of my nose. I think it just needs a little bit. I don't want to take it all the way down. I will a little bit afterwards, but I am gonna still cream contour a little bit. I just wanna a little bit more right underneath. She had such a good like highlight and contour going on, so I can't disappoint. Okay, so for cream contour, I'm going to be using the KKW Beauty Contour Stick in the shade Dark. I love this product so much. I love how creamy it is. It takes like no work to get good contour with this, and I really love that. And I think that's why she created it, just for every day, you know, like average person that just wants to do like a quick look. I did put up the contour a little bit, like a little bit high. And as you can see, I'm working really quickly. I'm not gonna go heavy with the cream contour because I'm gonna be using the powder, and I'm actually going to be using the Jennifer Lopez inglot collaboration. And I'm sorry, you know, it's I think discontinued, and I'm really shocked. I think it's the whole line was amazing, and the products were really, really good. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a huge fan of hers. I can tell, you know, just that it's a product that you can build without it getting blotchy. And I loved it so much I wore it on my wedding day. So just trying to blend all that. Okay, so as my under eyes bake, I always like to do my eyebrows, because by the time I'm done my eyebrows, it's time to wipe away the baking. So I like to use the Anastasia brow powder in the shade Ebony, and I'm just using my Estée Lauder brush. I did use the Anastasia's. I believe this is the number 14 brush. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I'll link everything down below, and I like it because it has a spoolie and it's super fine. I used this in my last video and I use it all the time, and I like to use it because I like it for the front, and then I like the Estée Lauder one for my tail and right underneath, because it is a little bit of a thicker brush, but I'm sure Anastasia has other brushes, of course, to accommodate, you know, if you want a thicker brush. This was just what I had. Just going right underneath the tail. And I do like to use the Anastasia's brush just for the very front and do hair-like strokes. Just like that, and just connect it. What a big difference when you do your eyebrows. Just kind of makes it look a little bit more fierce. Notice right here it's just a little bit more lighter. You can kind of see where I penciled it in or powdered it in. Just want to connect it so not so obvious. I mean, you can tell I fill in my eyebrows, which is fine. I just don't want it to, I don't want people to know where the start and the end is, you know what I mean? Okay, that looks way better. So last brush. Now I'm gonna use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is like hairspray for your eyebrows. It's awesome. And I just like going a little bit, feathering the top. Okay, so I did a lot of research about this look, and obviously there's pictures everywhere. However, I never saw one with her eyes closed, like on the internet or anything like that, because obviously she was walking on the runway. But I did watch her video where on YouTube, where she did a video about everything about the runway show. And I took a quick screenshot of this picture because you can't really see so much of her eye makeup. She didn't have like, I don't feel like she had like crazy heavy eye makeup. I feel like there's a good contour shade, a little bit of sparkle obviously, and a lot of thick lashes. So I took a quick screenshot of this. Okay, so I took a quick screenshot of that, and I'm gonna try to replicate it as much as possible. I'm going to be using this eyeshadow brush from Smashbox. It's called the Crease Brush number 10. And I'm going to be using MAC Let's Roll Dazzle Shadow. Kind of looks pink, but it comes off like kind of goldish, which is really pretty. Kind of reminds me of what she has. But it was very like sharp. So I'm gonna grab a nice sharp edge. Just kind of trying to drag it out as much as possible. Okay, I'm just gonna do the other side. I know I still have some baking underneath, and that will, after I sweep it away, it'll give it an even better, like sharper, you know, look.
Just add a little bit more on this end.
Again, she had like a lot of lashes on, so her eyeshadow wasn't, you know, look, but you see how it kind of like lifted? I noticed that about the picture. Okay, so now I'm just gonna wipe away the baking. Like I said earlier, I really love the JLo Inglot collaboration, and I'm sorry I'm using this. I just feel like it's only fitting because it is a Jennifer Lopez look. I don't know why they stopped making this product, but hopefully she's coming out with her own. But in the meantime, I'm going to be mixing. I have a lot of different stuff here, but these two are the Jennifer Lopez inglot. So this is called Sun-Kissed and this is called Cocoa. So I'm gonna be mixing the two, and they're very pigmented, so just taking off the excess. Now I'm just going right her contour was pretty strong, and it was for Runway anyways, so, but it looked seamless and amazing, like always. Scott Barnes is a true artist. But I love the video where he mentioned, you know, you gotta love who you work with, and I think that's so important, and not just, you know, if you're a makeup artist, of who you love doing makeup for, like in his case, of course that's important, but in life, with any job, I think that you should love what you do. And if not, if you have to obviously stick it out, I totally understand. I've been there before, but you know, you can't give up on your dreams. Find out what you really love and go for it. And life is so short, and that made me really, you know, really appreciate him more, and you know, just them two together, just because it just really shows that how much they love and care for each other. And you know, you gotta love who you work with or who you work for, or the company. You know, one life to live, honey. You want to make sure it's like, you know, you're doing it to the fullest and with the right people. So I always do this. I always grab the same, you know, same two products from the Jennifer Lopez collection in inglot, and again I take off the excess. This is a different brush, like they're both the same, the one I used on my eyes, but I just have two of them, so I'm going to use this for my nose. To shorten my nose a little bit, so I'm just gonna go with that on. And then with that, I'm going to be taking this Tarte brush. I don't know the name of this. It was part of like a Christmas collection brush. I'm taking this number 040 for Dior Forever powder, and what I want to do is kind of clean up around my nose so it looks more like sharper and it looks like a straighter line. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Je Contraste 89 Canal. That's the shade, it's 89 Canal, but it's part of the Je Contraste blush. So it kind of looks like this. It's very bronzy, and I've had this for probably over a year, and I use it all the time, and it barely has a dent in it. So in my opinion, it's worth it. And it's super pigmented. Let's put it just a little bit on the nose. Okay, so for highlight, I'm going to be using the Master Chrome Maybelline Metallic Highlighter in the shade 100 Molten Gold or Fondue. So it's such a pretty gold color, and I think it was perfect for this look. Because obviously the whole look is bronzy and golden, and she's got the best tan, so I figured this would be perfect. So I'm just taking a Smashbox number, I want to say 15, and I like it because it has like you can see like a nice pointed but dense pressure to it, so it's perfect, I feel like, for a little nose contour. I meant highlight. Nose highlight. I'm gonna put a little bit under the brow. I'm gonna put a little bit right there. And before I do anything with the eyes or do even more highlighter on the face, I'm just going to set my face, that way I have that really like almost like blinding highlight. And I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible face setting spray. It's coming along, guys. It's coming along. If only my hair can stay flipped. There we go. Okay, so since my face is still, I didn't even get this side. It's like one side felt like super like moisturized and like wet, and then this side felt like, you know, Sarah, thanks for forgetting us. Just gonna grab a little fan brush. I don't know, I have a lot of Smashbox brushes. I used to work for them, so that's why. So this is their fan brush, and this is the shade, not shade, brush number 22. So shade 22. Just grabbing a little bit. It's gonna dip one more time. Whoa. Actually, is it really too much? It's a Jennifer Lopez look. I don't think so. Everyone kept raving about this highlighter, and I'd never used it before, so I'm glad I got it. Finally. A little late, but never too late for a good highlighter. I went a little bit lower, like more on my cheek than I usually do. I just feel like JLo's highlight kind of goes down a little bit lower, but I'm just grabbing my damp beauty blender and kind of just blending it out. That way it kind of looks seamless and not so like, you know, in your face. But I still like to grab my beauty blender at the end anyways and kind of mesh all the products together. It always looks a little bit more airbrushed and more, you know, natural. Takes away any excess powder. Just in the style Goddess. Again, I really wanted to get the exact lashes that Scott Barnes used on Jennifer Lopez, but I kind of had to improvise in the moment until you know, he comes out. So again, the style is called Goddess, and I really like it because they are wispy and kind of like pointy, just like the ones she was wearing. Obviously they're not identical. It was the Scott Barnes lashes that he was using on her, but I feel like this is the most similar in my opinion. So and hers were like full, like you can tell she had like nice thick lashes on, and to me, on me, these lashes are like huge, so I just really wanted that same impact. So I'm going to be putting this on and I'll be right back. Okay, so before I continue on to lips, I'm just gonna finish my under eyes. I'm going to be using the Estée Lauder Double Wear eyeliner in the shade Bronze. These are one of my favorite eyeliners. I really love their lip liners as well. But the shade I feel like is perfect just because it's the whole bronzy look, and the shade is called Bronze. And I'm just gonna go on my waterline. It's very subtle, but it does make a little bit of a difference. Which I want. I didn't want to use black. I don't think she even used black. I'm going to be taking a pencil brush from Chanel, and this is the shade, why do I keep saying shade? This is the number 24. There's so much products in front of me, so it's like shade, number, you know, but we're getting there. So I'm just taking a little bit of the same MAC shadow in Let's Roll. I'm just going right underneath. Just a little. Okay, so finally for lips, I'm gonna use 3 products. I'm going to be using the MAC lip liner in this shade. I think this is Stripdown. I'm going to be using the liquid lipstick. It's a Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the number 60 Poet. So her lips are really nude. So I feel like this is a good combo. And just like to kind of blend it all in. And then finally for gloss, I'm going to be using the Dior. This is in 223 Dior Addict. I always like to go a little over the center. Or like Scott Barnes likes to say, flicker it. Look at the top. So actually, I forgot one crucial step. Perfume. Versace Eros, of course. One of my favorites. And we are all done, darlings. A little nervous. I'm not too sure why. I'm usually very, confident, and, I don't get nervous about stuff like this, but I think it's because, it's such an iconic moment, and she's such an amazing person, and, role model, and she's one of my muse, and, I look up to her so much. I recently went to her It's My Party tour, and I fell in love with her even more. She's got the most amazing stage presence, and you can tell she's such a genuine person. And I really hope that, you all enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you guys learned something, even if it's not, just about that look. Like if, there was a little trick that I showed you and you really enjoyed it, let me know down below. And again, thank you all so much for being here. It really means a lot that you came and that you watched. And again, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm going to be filming once a week, and I hope you guys come back and see me soon. Bye guys, take care.